Again, we are doing this again. Thank you for joining me. You could have been anywhere else. Is this a crazy world we living in or what, y'all? Like for real, for real. I want to give a quick ashe to all of the people that were affected, all of the victims of the mass shootings that's been going on in various locations here in the United States. Ashe to all of those individuals. Jupiter is definitely in Aries, huh? Definitely in effect like nobody's business. Mars is definitely in Aries. Absolutely. Now, I want to do a quick disclaimer. This show is for folks that's comfortable with diving deep because we're about to do some diving right about now, right? So let's really talk about like what this energy is all about. I'm not going to get too deep in it because there's some other things that I want to talk about, but this world right here, like we seeing it in full effect all over the place. And so I just really wanted to give some special love to everyone. My question that I really wanted to ask though, I'm just curious to know if those individuals got that injection, like what's that all about? But then when I posed that question, word on the street, was that shooting in Buffalo? I need to look into that shit. This is just the word on the street. Is that one of the individuals involved in the mass shooting developed a vehicle that can run by water as opposed to gas? And so there's conversation that, that's looking kind of shaky, baby, of who would drive 200 miles. What 18-year-old person, I believe, was the age of the individual in that Buffalo joint. And so the news has been upsetting me. Like I've been trying to keep up with it for the most part, but I'm on a need to know basis right about now. Like, am I in any clear and present danger and everything? And I'll check in so that I'll know where to send some healing and light to if they want it. If not, then we can bring it back to the earth and let it heal and nourish the earth. However, if they do want that healing light energy, it's definitely going to be sent out and going their way. So definitely for that right there. Let's talk about some dope shit that's going on in these streets. I had purchased me let me make sure I got this shit right. A red light. I thought it was called something. It's red light therapy. And this is some really dope shit because it really works to help in healing the skin. So I got hip to this on a priestess call, and Miss Blue was telling us about this red light and how it helps in healing the skin. And there's been a lot of work. So of course I'm looking into this. This is right up my alley. Like we talking my language right here. And so I went and I checked it out. And apparently, like, this shit's good for stretch marks, all signs of aging, eczema, psoriasis. Like, they've been doing a lot of work with this shit. And what it is, it's a low wavelength red light that helps to improve the skin's appearance, apparently. And there's studies out on it on like all types of different healing with red light. And they're saying that the studies are promising. I didn't see any results for it though, right? But what they're talking about is that there's been results in it stimulating collagen production, increasing what the mechanism that makes collagen is called fibroblast production. And I get that's what helps to make the collagen, whatever. It increases the circulation and it reduces inflammation. This is definitely some dope shit to get right here. And you can grab that on Amazon. And support Miss Blue. She has a store there where you can get this light called Miss Blue's Magical Things. And you go down to Amazon and you throw that in the search and you'll find that red light right there. And it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money, right? I think it costs something like 30, 40 bucks, something like that. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I went and I grabbed me one of them joints. I got me one. And I've been definitely dealing with this. Definitely been dealing with this. And I've seen some really good results. I get poison ivy when I'm out there in that yard, especially if, you know, there's going to be a lot of like high energy shit that's going on, right? And it starts to show up in the skin. Of course, the skin starts showing, you know, a lot of things that that are not being addressed, or some things that, you know, need to be taken a look at, right? So when you have some skin eruptions, know that that's, you know, you need to take some inventory on what's going on, right? And so with that, I got poison ivy. I'm out in the garden, yada yada, you know. And so all things true, but to go about that whole process of healing, because, you know, for me, it's a bitch. Like, I used to suffer from that when I was a kid. It was deep, you know what I'm saying? And I would swell up, and you know what I'm saying? And it was a situation. Today, it still shows up. There's a little bit of swelling, but nothing like it was back in the day. I use the red light and I just lay up under it for about like maybe 5-10 minutes every evening just to see what it do. And I was more focused on what it was going to do for my complexion, especially being that I had the poison ivy rash, and I didn't really want to use any other beauty products or any abrasives that would have really like irritated it even more. So I used the red light with that. And amazingly, I started noticing that the rashes, the poison ivy rashes that I was having was diminishing. So this is definitely something to look into. And usually they stick around on me for about a week or something like that. And they started to like, it started to heal. It started to go away. And so for the most part, most of this poison ivy, because, you know, it shows up in various places, right? For the most part is gone. So this is definitely some dope shit to look into. And I have noticed that there has been a little bit of brightness in my complexion, but this is new. I'm new to this, right? This is so far, so good. But I'm definitely jazzed to see that it can help and assist in me with this whole poison ivy situation right here, you know? So this is definitely, y'all, some dope shit to get, huh? Definitely. So let's talk about this energy and how it's going. I want to talk about this energetic forecast. That's going to be something that we really need to pay attention to, because this is a little bit of tricky energy we got to be navigating out here in these streets, right? And I was really doing a little bit of work and looking at a lot of the signs and the symbols that are showing up out here that really give you a reflection of the times and the energy and within itself. And so with that, I've been really talking about Jupiter being in Aries because I want us to really start kind of laser focusing on what we would like to really have happen. And not necessarily in such a vague sense as I put it in, right? But really start painting that picture. So that's what I've been working on, is really beginning to paint that picture of how I want things to begin playing out, and really being honest with myself and not being focused on like what I'm supposed to be doing. and how I was told it was supposed to go and what the teaching gave me and the education that I had, in that particular direction, or this is the way they've been doing it. And so I need to follow suit. Letting that energy go, right? But really getting in tune with what it is that I'm trying to do. Because we live in a world, and I'm not going to say that it's not grounded and it doesn't make sense to get out here, get your grind on, and do what you got to do to make it happen for yourself. Oh, I'm not saying that that's not necessarily how it needs to go. The concern that I have, though, is how that turns into something different, how it turns into something that we don't want at the end of the day, how it turns into us shoveling shit, how it turns into us doing a job and we wake up in the morning and we feel some type of way about having to show up to that. And I understand, because I was a single mother at one time and I had to get out here and I had to make some money and I had to make sure that I paid the bills and everything. I didn't have the level of consciousness and know about how manifestation like that works and everything, So I'm out here navigating these streets just by what I know. And a lot of folks that's like me grew up with the whole mentality that money is difficult to attain. It's hard to get what you want. And so with that, we shift into this space of settling for good enough because we think that this is as good as it gets. Today is a different day, because I'm seeing how we have a lot more control. Not control over everything like, we can just like craft it, but we definitely have a lot more control over how the events play out in our lives. There's some things that we just cannot foresee. See, divine order is absolutely real, so I ain't even playing with that. But it's always better, your chances improve for victory when strategies are in place, when we get in alignment with the desired results. And so with Jupiter being in Aries, I'm going to run through all of these positions that the planets are in and talk about the potential possibilities of what that could look like. But I like focusing on this Jupiter in Aries because it's a mighty time. I'm going to put my energy there. Now we can look at the dark side of what that looks like, or we can focus on the potential of how we can grab us some light and get some victory in this piece. Whatever, up to you. Free will. Forgot about this Pride Month everybody's celebrating. So it's about time for people to start showing up, being who they are out here in these streets. Whatever. They got a whole month to celebrate. That's more than Black History Month. Oh, I said that, yeah. Because I don't have no issue with none of that, But, you don't say shit, nobody will know it. So, that's just where I'm at. And you free to live the life you want to live. I don't have time for that shit to be holding on to any of that. But this is definitely a time for people. The people that's out here that's trying to be who they are versus the folks that's trying to take this whole situation where folks is trying to live their life and have some peace in their shit and somebody turning it into some weird ass perverted agenda where we can confuse the babies. I'm gonna leave that shit right there. Whatever. Because Jupiter. I was also thinking about Monique and that madness with DL, and I heard her like going all the way left, and then I heard her coming back all the way right. And so, you know, she's a little bit different these. Well, no, consistent. I forgot. Yeah. The word on the street is that she done gave everybody this fire. So, you know, and that's beginning to show itself. And we're starting to see like a lot of people's true nature, and people are being exposed, and a lot of things that we didn't know is starting to show up. So we got the sun in Gemini, that bright, sunny Gemini personality. I love me some Gemini. Those is my partners in crime. I love them. I love them. They got a lot of duality with it. But that sun is all about how we show up, how the energy is presenting itself. And it's presenting itself in that simpatico, that friends, the lovers energy. Gemini is connected to the number 6, which is the lovers in the tarot card, right? And the number 6 is all about harmony and family and connections and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? And that energy is in alignment with the lovers. So we got Mercury and Taurus, and you can take that energy, because we got Mercury and Taurus, where you got an opportunity to have this grounded communication. And so this is also an opportunity for us to be really paying attention to a lot of the things that's going on within our home and getting that communication on point, huh? How them finances going? You know, check them smoke detectors if you hear that beep beeping. House might be communicating to you, huh? Spirit in the house. Uranus is in Taurus as well, which is all about like how we show up, individuality. You see folks, they got their little outfits on out here, you know, rainbow cats kicking it, doing it live in a big way. Moon in Virgo. Moon is in Virgo. Don't be beating yourself up for how it should have been, how it's supposed to go down and all of that shit. And if you fell off your diet and all of that type of shit, that, you know, Moon in Virgo. But this is really a beautiful time for us to really start. Get the house, like get everything in order, get things situated, get things organized, get things, and to be a blessing to folks out here in these streets and help some folks get it together. Venus is right at home with Taurus, or Taurus is right at home in Venus. And this really is, I love this energy, which is all about beauty, which is all about home life, which is all about the things that we value and everything. And so with that communication, and then we got that Venusian, that Venus energy, like all connecting together and everything. We're going to see a lot of heart-to-heart conversation that's going on. Maybe even some things will change up within the household field. A lot of relationships will either be ending or be restored or renewed. We are just really, a lot of people are really going to start Well, of course, here we go with that standing in their truth, standing in who they are and everything. We got Jupiter and Mars and Aries. We see the shit's going down, right? We got a lot of folks out here unraveling in these streets. That war energy got folks just a little more rah-rah. This is what I really wanted to deal with right here, was this whole Aries energy. We got Mars in Aries. We got Jupiter in Aries, right? We got these two energies that's in here. This is definitely an opportunity, right? For real expansion, for real growth, right? There's going to be a lot of spiritual growth and expansion. Like, we think just about how our pockets can get fatter, how our money is going to get right, how we go get on this time around, right? And that's a possibility too. Let's not make no mistake about that, right? But this is also a time for consciousness to be elevating, right? This is a time for masters to start showing up and coming through. This is a time for folks that's really been out here doing the work to show and prove, right? And this is also a time for those folks that have been pretending to do the work to be exposed. We got a lot going on in these streets. Saturn and Aquarius. That's what I was just referring to. Exposure. When you don't know. Aquarius energy is that whole energy of the knower, that uniqueness energy, dealing with that vibe of Saturn is where it's positioned at, which is surrounded with our discipline in the work we doing. Father Time sit around there, and that's in Aquarius, the knower. And there's also potential for us to really begin taking a look at how we have been treating people as a whole, because we got that whole humanitarian energy, right? Yeah. A lot of cats out here. You know, there was a lot of things I was being exposed with, you know, a lot of domestic violence, the wars that's going on. We're starting to see a lot of financial mishaps, fraud, price gouging. All they missing is a gun and a mask. They probably got the mask on. Robbery at these gas stations. Robbery. I ain't even going nowhere. I'm trying to walk to everything, right? Pulling out my bike. And then we got Pluto in that whole energy of Capricorn. And Capricorn is connected to that whole Saturn energy, right? And so where Pluto's at is where that transformation and that rebirth is at. And Capricorn deals with discipline and, you know what I'm saying, doing the work and all of that. So what an interesting time. What an interesting time. So I've been really working myself, getting in alignment and everything. I've been working with the goddess Kuan Yin. I think Monique would benefit from working with the goddess Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is gangster. She helped folks that's hot spirited. They got that hotness with them, right? They just can't control themselves. Just got to say it. I gotta say something. I'm pissed, and the world needs to know how I'm feeling. That energy. Kuan Yin's your lady. The energy, the goddess. I'm sorry if there's some folks that are like, oh, man. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Kuan Yin. Her symbol can be a dragon or a small vase. Hold up, where's my book at? I've got me book that is so dope. This book right here is called The Ultimate Goddess Empowerment. It's a guide that gives you the 411 on all of the goddesses. I got to get one for the gods too, so I can have the masculine and feminine energy rocking for me, right? And the goddess Kuan Yin, her symbol can be a dragon, and it can also be like one of those little small narrow vases. I see that shit all the time when I'm at the thrift store. I'm definitely go grab me one of them shits. I did not know that. I did not know that. And I always thought, like, who the hell would want a little bit? But you know, I like when I find a nice little flower, I'm out and about and everything, that would be absolutely perfect for that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's so damn clever. I missed it. But anyway, that's the symbol for Kuan Yin, the small little vase with the narrow neck. And so me, I'm getting in alignment with Kuan Yin because her stone to really connect with that energy is the pearl. Hold up, let me see. Let me find her. She on page 147. I'm gonna get y'all hip to this hole right here. So they give you a whole lot of work. I ain't going there because I ain't got time for all of that. But of course, you know, Kuan Yin is Chinese. She is about that peace, about that tranquility. Say what? Say word. It's really, I'm telling you, them hot buttons, folks. I rocks with her from time to time. I get in that space sometime. I get it. I feel it. The color white is a color to work with her on. You know what else I know too, which I think they left that out, is the color red is another good color to work with Kuan Yin on with too. For real, for real. Her element is air. And then the scent that you work with is any ocean scents or pine. I said, oh, Snooky. So when I seen this book, I got this at the half price bookstore. You can probably find this anywhere. You know, y'all know what to do, how to do. When I seen this, I thought, this is going to elevate my get ready game to the next level. So now, like, especially like with this whole Jupiter in Aries, Mars in Aries energy, like how can I help in getting myself in alignment, remind myself to stay in alignment so that I can be in a space to achieve my desired results. So I started thinking about like, okay, this right here, this energy that we also got on the light end, we already know what it can look like. We seen it on the news. We seen, you know, Monique shouting it out, her and DL, it's a slugfest, all of that bullshit, all of the folks on social media with that shit. We know what the negativity looks like, right? We got that, we clear. Now, on the other end, we could take that energy, bring some leader, boss energy into it. Yeah, Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Aries. Your expansion, your growth, your abundance is connected to taking the lead when Jupiter's in Aries. You moving forward, you seizing the opportunity, you making it happen, you doing the work. And it's also a good time to start setting the tone on our values and how we communicate, Mercury and Taurus. On how we handling people and disrespecting folks and talking raggedy to people. Monique, stop it. So, somebody gotta say something. Somebody got to take the lead. It's you. We can't keep standing around with the gas face, watching shit happen. So this is a time that we take the lead. So I got myself all in flow. I got my Jupiter in Aries. I got that air, fire energy in my clothes, right? Now, if I'm going somewhere, I got a presentation. Let's say they call me for a TED talk, a reunion. I want to get there and show them up and show up. Or even an interview for whatever reason, whatever. If I was going on a date, which I'm not, because, I canceled that out 15 years ago. But if I was, or if, hey, we still go on dates, but it's a tone setter for a date. We're just getting out and about, like I like to do. I like to get out and about and be all in alignment with, you know what I'm saying, whatever my intention is for the day. So if I'm trying to get all up in leader boss energy, I'm wearing leader boss colors. I'm wearing leader boss everything. I've got a leader boss stone. But here's the thing, though. You got to watch that. And this is why I brought the goddess Kuan Yin into the equation. Because if I got on a leader boss outfit, let's say I got on a monotone red outfit. You wearing red, you holding a lot of fire energy. How you go balance that out? But see, when you bring Kuan Yin in here, she deals with that fire energy color of red, but she also brings that air element into it. This is about that peace and tranquility. It helps to quench that fire, helps to keep that fire contained. Adding air to the fire to intensify it, but contain it so that you ain't out there burning bridges. Abundance in colors, abundance in energies. Believe it or not, crystals, you wear too many crystals with that heavy energy. I noticed one thing. I love me some citrine. But abundance of citrine on a personality like mine turn it into a rah-rah fest. And I'm running around scaring the shit out of people. I can do it. You better know. Fuck what you heard. I'm in that energy. It's just too much. So there's levels to that. So I'm gonna put me on some pearls to bring that energy to a thing. I want to get into that feminine energy because again, that gold, it brings that, that's what it was. It was citrine and gold. I just thought about that. Damn. Bringing all that rah-rah energy to the equation, right? I deals with silver, and folks that are easily angered, like Monique, should get silver. I'm using her as the example. I'm gonna kick her ass this week. Boy, I'm ashamed of that behavior. So let me get out of my feelings and let's see what Spirit has to say about how we go deal with this Jupiter and Mars and Aries energy. I dealt with the Light Seers Tarot deck yet again. Ow. And what I got in this particular situation, what Spirit want to talk about is the Star. And this is that wish fulfillment card, right? That light at the end of the tunnel, good fortune, making it happen. And so this thing is all about you getting to those things you really want to see happen. Not what you settled for, but those things that you truly want to see happen. The challenge, High Priestess. The challenge. High Priestess. Her energy is all about being to intuition, shadows, feminine power, spirituality, woo, 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 facing them shadows, right? This is an aspect of, you know, how they say that moon energy, that divine feminine energy. High Priestess. See, the challenge is that we're not tapping in to that intuitive part within ourselves and being real with who we are, facing our shadows, keeping it 100 so that we can heal and grow. So Spirit is recommending I got the 7 of Swords, which is all about uncertainty, illusions, being cautious, that whole vibe, right? But this was in reverse. And so the sword energy is dealing with that air energy, like how we think, how we communicate, how that shit goes down, right? And the 7 deals with that whole cerebral, mental. It's also a very spiritual number, right? But about them thoughts, get your head together. Spirit said, get your head together. But of course, they didn't. Overthinking is what Spirit really said. Hey, overthinking. Get your head together, Shakesha said. Overthinking. Sitting back thinking about every way that it could go down, every way it couldn't go down. What if this happened? Let me figure out this. Let me get that. And then you ain't making no moves. You just sitting there spinning thought. I'm the queen of that shit. I know. This card was for me. Thinking and spinning and thinking and spinning and thinking and spinning and thinking. And I'm going to fix it this way. Because that 7 of Sword energy is all about, oh, this is a tricky situation. Let me think this out. But then when it's reversed, it's an energy that's not serving you. You see? Sitting around spinning thoughts on what you're supposed to do, how it should be done, how you ought to go about doing it, the way you was told to do it, and the way you think you should do it. All of that is holding you back. You ain't getting a goddamn thing done. And what that turned into? Spin, spin, spin. And so the result is the 4 of Swords, which is all about rest, solitude, recuperation, staying the hell out the way, retreat. But this is in reverse. You ain't doing it. You need to sit down somewhere. You sitting around spinning thoughts, just doing shit that's not productive because you're in head space. And so when this card shows up and it's in the reverse position, it's telling you this is really how you get to the next level is to sit down. Calm down, find you a movie, get out in nature, get you a book to read, grab holistic appeal, a concise and holistic approach to getting in alignment with your most appealing self in that particular process, baby. But chill, nevertheless, because this is how you recalibrate so that you can, hold up, rejuvenate, re-educate, reevaluate, And then you can demonstrate. But for real, you have to do this. It's essential because you make it worse when you don't. And so spirit is pleading with you to get you some rest because you go be busy. Trust what I'm saying. This work is going to be getting with you. You go get this work. But now's the time to rest up. Get you a book and rest it on up. I'm going to call it for the rest of the week a peace and light moment right here. And I'm going to get my boogie on. Hold up. Let me see. To that sun goddess groove. Y'all know I dig that. That's where it's at for me. Peace and light. Peace and love.